Hello, my name is Brittany, and you are watching my channel, Brittany She Etc. Today, we are going to be discussing a wild story. To be honest, I've never heard anything like it. The woman we will be discussing is a Hollywood actress who, yes, ended up marrying her stepson and was described as being beauty obsessed. Today, we are going to be discussing the life and story of Gloria Graham. Before we get started, do not forget to subscribe and at least flirt with that like button before hitting it. Thanks for watching and enjoy. Gloria Graham was born on November 28th of 1923 in Los Angeles, California. Her father was an architect named Michael, and her mother, Jean, was a skilled stage actress who spent many years as an acting coach. Surprisingly, unlike many celebrities, Gloria Graham was the name given to her at birth, which even today is pretty rare. Gloria did have an older sister named Joy who was also into acting as well, so their mother Jean put in a lot of time and hours coaching both girls, and it was clear their mother wanted the girls to follow in her footsteps, and she would push them hard as she knew it would be a tall climb to the top. Gloria ended up professionally acting while still attending high school, but would eventually drop out to pursue a full-time career in acting. Gloria's first notable work would be in 1943 when she received a role starring in the Broadway play titled The World's Full of Girls. The night the play premiered, Gloria caught the attention of a special someone who happened to be in the audience that night, Louis B. Mayer, who was a successful producer, and he was impressed by Gloria's performance. Louis spoke to Gloria behind the scenes to discuss her goals for the future. This encounter would secure Gloria a contract with MGM Studios and would be the start of her full-time acting career. It was evident that not only was Gloria stunning and beautiful, but she had that it factor that would captivate and reel in audiences. Gloria was a 5'7" star with sun-kissed blonde hair and beautiful brown eyes that seemed to always sparkle. Many would say that Gloria Graham was the original blonde bombshell, which is usually accredited to Marilyn Monroe, which I thought was interesting, and after doing some digging, I found that Gloria did start her career 5 years before Marilyn. So you could say that Gloria was one of the first blondes to grace the big screen along with Marilyn, but the original blonde bombshell title would have to be given to Jean Harlow, who was already around long before these two. So, case closed. By the way, I know this would have kept you up at night, so you're welcome. Gloria made her first film appearance debuting as Sally Murfin in the film Blonde Fever. Shortly after, Gloria played the flirtatious and provocative Violet Bick in Frank Capra's classic film It's a Wonderful Life. When this movie came out, men all over the world found themselves obsessing over Gloria Graham. The two films were a hit, and these roles would be known as some of her most widely known. Despite her success in 1947, MGM unexpectedly decided to sell her contract to RKO Studios. They cited their reasoning for doing this was because that they did not know what to do with Gloria or what direction to take her career. This took people by surprise as Gloria's first two movies ever filmed were both huge successes. Many speculated and wondered if there was maybe another hidden reason for the sudden disposal of her contract. Under RKO Studios and others, Gloria would go on to make several more films. Her niche and specialty became film noirs, which is a French word for dark films. If you're unfamiliar, it is usually a way to describe black and white crime dramas or films with a mysterious, dark, and moody aesthetic. In 1947, Gloria would star in a film called Crossfire, which would win her an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Then, in 1950, Gloria worked alongside Humphrey Bogart in the film called A Lonely Place, which would end up being known as one of her best performances. She continued filming until the year of 1952, then appearing in The Bad and Beautiful. Although her part in the film only lasted a mere 9 minutes, she would end up winning an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, making her the first person to ever win an Oscar for such a short segment. Other notable films Gloria starred in were The Greatest Show on Earth, The Big Heat, Sudden Fear, Human Desire, and Not a Stranger. Gloria was then offered a part in the classic musical Oklahoma as the eccentric and mousy Ado Annie Carnes. Gloria was very reluctant to star in a musical as she had no former vocal training and had never previously starred in a musical. Although she was uncomfortable, she ultimately decided to take the part. There were rumors circulating during her time on set that her co-stars were basically making fun of her. They would tease her and poke fun at her about the way she sounded. Another side paints a different story, as some working on the film stated that Gloria was difficult to work with. This was believed to be the reason for Gloria's work slowing down after filming. She found it more difficult to land roles and decided to move into the world of television. She would go on to star in 4 TV movies and would guest star in a number of television series, including the sci-fi show The Outer Limits. Throughout Gloria's life, she always felt self-conscious about her appearance. She claimed she would never even watch herself back after filming. Gloria also wore glasses full-time but would never be caught dead wearing them in public. It became her little secret. Gloria was especially insecure about her upper lip. She believed her top lip was too thin and that it was tilted in a way that was uneven. For filming, she would often stuff cotton or wads of tissue underneath her lip where her gum line was just to make it appear fuller. This discovery was made from a couple of male co-stars who happened to find bits of cotton in their mouth after kissing Gloria for passionate love scenes. Gloria's insecurity would eventually lead to her undergoing plastic surgery on her lip. Plastic surgery was in its infancy and was not near as good as it is today. The procedure she underwent really didn't help with her appearance and also created a new sound to her voice. She now spoke with a lisp. Her new voice generated a new image as well. She now appeared and sounded more comedic and juvenile, a far cry from the seductress she was normally painted as. Unfortunately, Gloria continued torturing her lips with more procedures, and over time her lip was so damaged it became immobile. Gloria didn't see herself as the beautiful woman that others did, and it caused a lot of self-esteem issues for her. Hedda Hopper, who was a well-known gossip columnist at the time, described Gloria as being a, quote, shy little introvert who is so self-conscious it hurts. Sadly, she never got past her insecurities, and more cosmetic procedures would follow. I do find this so sad that she did not see herself in this light because she was truly beautiful. Gloria's issues with her self-image would unfortunately leak into her personal relationships. She would be married a total of 4 times and would have a total of 4 children. I will be going through each husband as it is imperative to understand exactly what happened. Her first marriage was to Stanley Clements, which was also a well-known actor at the time. The two married in 1945, but their relationship would not last long due to Stanley being a bad husband, and they divorced only 3 years later in 1948. Only a day after their divorce was announced, Gloria got married again. She married a director named Nicholas Ray, and this is when she would have her first child, a boy named Timothy. They had a very on and off again relationship, which would finally lead to a divorce in 1952. Her third marriage was to a man named Cy Howard, who was a writer and TV producer. They had a ceremony in August of 1954 and had a daughter together named Mariana Paulette. In May of 1957, Gloria filed for divorce and deemed the reason for the split to be because of the mental cruelty she faced during the marriage. Gloria's fourth and final marriage will shock you because in 1958, she married a much younger man by the name of Tony Ray, who was an actor. Tony was 14 years younger than Gloria, but their age gap is not the reason that this marriage will shock you. Tony Ray is actually the son of Gloria's former husband, Nicholas Ray, which was her second marriage. This means that her new husband, Tony, once upon a time was actually her stepson. Her ex-husband, Nicholas, went from being Gloria's ex-husband to her new father-in-law. She also had a child with her ex-husband, which meant that her new husband, Tony, was also the half-brother to her child, Timothy. The marriage was kept a secret until the year of 1962, when it was published into a tabloid. Upon the media catching wind of this, Gloria lost all credibility and had a terrible reputation, leading her career to fall into the deep end. Gloria was also known to have an unhealthy relationship with alcohol for many years, even through filming, and many would cite this as the reason that she married Tony in the first place. There were also allegations that Gloria had been involved in a romantic relationship with Tony when he was only a young boy, but they never held any weight and were later said to be made up to dramatize the story. But I think marrying your stepson is dramatic enough. Gloria and Tony went on to have 2 children together, 2 boys named Anthony and James, which again meant that their grandfather was her ex-husband. Tony became estranged with his father and the two never spoke again. Her relationship with Tony was actually her longest relationship, and the two stayed together for almost 14 years until they divorced in 1974. Although Gloria did continue dating, she would never marry again. Following her divorce, Gloria was unhinged and unwell. She was making erratic decisions that were not well thought out. She was also dealing with custody issues with two of her former ex-husbands as they did not believe she was a fit mother. Gloria had many stressors: the downfall of her career, her issues with alcohol, and the custody battle over her children. This would create a slow-motion train wreck until Gloria finally lost all control, and by 1964, she sought treatment and began therapy. In March of 1971, Gloria's health took a frightful turn when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Upon receiving this news, Gloria completely changed her habits and turned her life around. She stopped drinking and smoking and began dieting, only eating healthy foods. She also went into radiation treatment and stuck to homeopathic medications only. Luckily, her cancer went into remission, and in less than 1 year, she began acting, working in the theater. This is where Gloria thrived, as she was finally cast as the main character, unlike the many times before when she was most often assigned to supporting actress roles. Sadly, her victory would be short-lived, as only 5 years later in 1980, the cancer came back. She continued working, but that soon changed when during rehearsal, Gloria suddenly collapsed. On October 5th of 1981, Gloria was rushed to the St. Vincent Hospital located in Manhattan. After being admitted only a couple of hours later, Gloria died at the age of 57 years old. Her body was cremated and placed in the Oakwood Memorial Park Cemetery. Despite her bad reputation in the later part of her career, Gloria's contributions to the film industry were recognized when she received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Gloria will forever be known as the beautiful starlet that not only played a bad girl on the big screen, but also in her real life. She certainly did not play by the rules of life and lived on the edge. Gloria starred in a total of 39 feature films during her lifetime, not including her television career. Like so many other stars of her time, Gloria lost her life at a young age, but her classic films and her work will live on forever.